What's going down, folks? It's your boy C23 back on the sticks once again with another Madden 16 video for you guys. And it's been a minute since I hopped on the Draft Champions. I think it's been probably a couple of months since I played anything Draft Champion related. I've been playing so much MUT lately and so much franchise mode that I've almost forgotten that this mode exists. So that's what we're gonna do today. I'm gonna hop into a little bit of Draft Champions for you guys, and hopefully we can put a team together that can win a couple of games. And on top of that, the NFL League year kicked off around March 9th, I think it was when it started. And as of this video, NFL free agency is underway. A lot of teams are out there scrambling, trying to fill out their rosters, getting things ready before the draft in April, making trades. There's just a lot of moving parts right now. Now, with that said, my Atlanta Falcons have been surprisingly active this offseason because typically they're the type of team that sits back and waits till about day 2, day 3 before they make any type of free agency signings. Not this year. A couple of days before free agency started, the rumors started leaking out that the Falcons were interested in this guy and that guy. There was a list of about a dozen or so players that the Falcons could potentially be talking to. And a lot of you guys may know, I'm sure, that the Falcons need a lot of work. There's a lot of holes offensively and defensively, especially along the offensive line. And I'll just be honest with you guys, the last couple of seasons, the offensive line was just flat terrible. So I expected that the offensive line would be an area that we would target early in free agency, and that's exactly what they did. They signed Alex Mack for a 5-year, $45 million contract with about $28 million guaranteed. Now that's a pretty expensive contract, but I will say this, I think the spending is justified when you think about the type of player that you're going to be getting with an Alex Mack. I mean, he's an all-pro, one of the best at his positions in the league. I know he's a little bit up there in age, but interior offensive linemen still tend to be pretty productive later in their careers, so I'm not really worried about that. If we can get about a good 3 to 4 solid years out of him, I'll take that. He's definitely going to upgrade our line and make the left and right guard's job a little bit easier by pointing out the correct calls. So I think that was a great move by the Falcons, bringing in Alex Mack. Now, the next move that I want to talk about is one that I'm not really too big on, but I understand the logic behind it, and I just know that it had to be made, but I'm kind of scratching my head with this one, folks. And that's bringing in wide receiver Mohamed Sanu from the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not taking anything away from Sanu, and I've got no issues with him being brought in to compete for the number 2 spot to replace Roddy. My issue with the acquisition is the 5-year, $32.5 million contract that he was given. That's my issue, because to me, he seems a little bit unproven for that type of money. Now, I've debated with a lot of my fellow Twitter GMs, and oh, by the way, if you're not following me on Twitter, you probably need to. I'm at C23 Games. Go on ahead and click that follow button right now. But back to my thought, a lot of people were trying to tell me that Sanu is just buried on the depth chart in Cincinnati underneath all these talented wide receivers. So I pulled up the Cincinnati depth chart just to take a look at it myself. The last year's wide receivers were AJ Green, Brandon Tate, Marvin Jones, Mohamed Sanu, and Mario Alford. And of course, I got to mention Tyler Eifert. I know he's not a wide receiver, but he caught his fair share of balls last season too. Now, AJ Green is a clear-cut number 1 there, but what bothers me about this depth chart is that Sanu could not beat out Marvin Jones for that number 2 slot. But I don't know, it just doesn't make sense to me paying a guy that much money that only caught 33 balls the previous season. Now, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt and play devil's advocate because we did pick up Michael Turner back in 08, and he just seemed to come out of nowhere, so hopefully we can get the same out of Mohamed Sanu. But I'd be lying to you if I told you I wasn't skeptical. But we'll see how it plays out. Maybe the Falcons will surprise me and do something crazy in the draft, like take a Braxton Miller or Will Fuller or somebody like that. We'll see. So those were the moves we made on offense. On defense, we made a couple of moves too, and neither one of these signings really jump out at me because neither player had a huge impact last season. The 2 players that we picked up so far are Derek Shelby and Sean Weatherspoon. Now, looking at Shelby really quick, I believe he was signed to a 4-year, $20 million deal. I don't really know the guaranteed money on that deal, but I know he started 9 games last season and got 3.5 sacks. So there is some productivity there, but again, with Shelby, I still kind of find myself in that type of wait and see kind of mode. Because in reality, the Dolphins D-line last season was pretty solid. So I'm not sure if Shelby was a byproduct of that, or if he's the type of guy you could line up opposite Vic Beasley and let him go to work. Now, I know that Dan Quinn likes to run a pretty good rotation along the D-line, so Shelby's never going to be by himself in a feature role, but at the same time, we really need to get a guy that can just get after the quarterback, because it's been way too long that our defense has had no pass rush at all. It feels like at least 10 years. So is Shelby going to be the answer? My guess is probably not. My guess is they're going to target somebody within the first couple of rounds of the draft, because I know the draft is pretty heavy along the D-line, especially with pass rushers and defensive ends, so more than likely we'll pick one early in the draft. So with that being the case, I'm okay with the signing just because you need some veteran depth there while you draft a young guy and kind of develop him over the first couple of seasons. So with that said, I like the signing because we're actually trying to improve the D-line and trying to take care of a big position in need. And look at Ty Law just beasting out here getting picks. My opponent just kept throwing to his side of the field for some reason. Testing Ty Law is a bad idea. Anyway, getting back to what I was saying though, the second addition that we made on defense in free agency was adding Sean Weatherspoon. Now, the majority of Falcons fans loved this move because Spoon was a beast coming out of college. And what I liked about him most is he had a little bit of Ray Lewis in him coming out of college. And I know that says a lot, but if you think back to what Ray Lewis meant to those Ravens defensive teams, I'd almost guarantee you that there'd be no Ravens Super Bowls without Ray Lewis. And like Ray Lewis, Sean Weatherspoon is the vocal and emotional leader on the field. And he plays with just 100% passion every play, and that's what I love most. The only question mark that I have with Sean is, can he stay healthy? If he can only find a way to stay healthy for a couple of seasons, he could be the solid piece to a reconstructed linebacking core. Now, he is 28 years old and we did bring him in on a one-year deal, so it really is a low-risk contract in the event that things don't work out. But at the end of the day, all we can really do is just wait and see and hope everything pans out for the best. So what do you guys think about the move so far? Do you guys like what they're doing? Do you guys think that they reached? I know not all of you guys are Falcons fans, so what do you like about the moves that your teams have made? Go on ahead and drop me a comment below and share your thoughts, because I'm curious to know if you guys like or dislike any of the moves your teams are making. Anyway, folks, that's all the time I got in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. I'm signing off, and I'll see you in the next one.